Kendra Adachi, welcome back to the podcast.
Hi, Jeremy Goldberg.
How have you been?
I've been many things.
You're always many things.
Many things, but it's good to be back. I'm excited to have this conversation with you. Feel fired up about what we're going to talk about. I have been for a while. And yeah, just feels good to be energized and alive and here and clear. Mostly clear.
Yeah.
Today's a clear day.
We're reporting live from our couch.
Mm-hmm.
And you're feeling spicy? Are you feeling spicy or mild today?
I would say I just feel clear. I feel like I'll probably get spicy, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we're going to be talking about accountability and integrity and taking the next aligned step in your life.
Being really honest, really just being honest with yourself and with what needs to shift and what that looks like. And in my experience, and I feel like why I feel really clear about it is because I've personally been feeling the universal nudge to really address where I need to be honest with myself in terms of what my new level of integrity is requiring of me in relationships, friend, romantic, you, obviously.
Thanks for clarifying.
Familial, and what that looks like is boundaries are changing and just really honoring the shifts that come with life. Like, I'm not the same woman as I was a year ago. And the foundations that I've had leading up to today, may have worked at some level, but it's just become so clear that there are things that I just can't, that just aren't in alignment anymore. It's like, I really visualize it as going down to like a tree. I've got lots of branches and there's fruits and there's like so much going on. And I go down to like the actual root system and I'm looking at the soil and I'm seeing like, oh, there's weeds here. I haven't looked at this in a while. Like, oh, maybe that's why I'm not absorbing these nutrients over here, is because there's something impacting the way that I'm just settling in my life over here. And I feel it. I could go on.
Yeah, there's blocks.
Or
hang on, before you go on.
Okay.
I think it's just prefacing or setting the background for this conversation is you and I are leading a 1 month wholehearted integrity challenge invitation for the month of May. Yeah. There's Zoom calls. They get my online course, Get Shit Done 101. There's daily text messages. There's daily journal prompts, support. People are going to see us. And so the context of that container is everything that we're going to talk about now, which is things feeling, how would you describe that? Feeling unaligned, misaligned, feeling crunchy, feeling like...
I would almost as if, like it's springtime and we're feeling that spring clean energy, at least I really am. And I'm also just visualizing and seeing quite literally, like the garter snakes are out. And it's almost as if like the skin is needing to shed, like that old skin from last year. It's time to molt it, and we can feel the discomfort. We can feel the discomfort, and maybe it's like really fucking old. Some of these things are really fucking old, and we're like, wow, it's just time. Like there's this energy that I've been personally feeling, and around like this just, it's time. It's not from a force. It's just like there's something that's very much alive in me that's like, clean up. It's time to tend. And then we got into conversation about how like this is really here. And then we got fired up about holding something for a month to be like, gosh, like let's bring the people together to like...
Yeah, because I've personally felt that same sensation. I describe it, I guess, as feeling stuck or stagnant or bored or irritated with myself and my choices. And I just feel like I'm in the want-was or I'm snappy.
Yeah.
And there's something that is feeling constrictive. And what I would do generally, and I have done for years, is give myself little challenges of, okay, I'm going to do 33 burpees a day, or I'm going to do an hour of meditation every day for this month, or I'm going to write every day, or I'm going to jump in the freezing cold river every day. And so I kind of approach it more strategically, I guess, and systems based.
Mm.
Whereas it sounds like your take is more an intuitive
Yeah.
little inner whisper about how do you
Yeah.
approach misalignment? Like, what is it? What is it
So
like for you?
I feel like a good sort of story is I was f- I've been feeling misalignment in some interactions with some of my friendships and with some collaborations. And previously, I know that I've just allowed that to just be there and be like, okay, just kind of give them grace. And yes, there's still grace, but there's also this thing that's been feeling in me that was like, no, this is actually not helpful for our friendship. This is actually not helpful for what I like the depth that I desire to have in my relationships moving forward. Feeling the safety to express what I'm feeling just the clearing out and naming, like, this is here. I'm having this experience from this interaction, and it just has to be cleaned up. So I was having this experience with a few people in my life in various different situations. And it was like this intuitive feeling that just felt kind of like gross and just off and really honestly like confronting, uncomfortable, and also a little bit sad because I love these people. And I was noticing how it was impacting the way that I wanted to show up for them and I wanted to show up for the relationship. And it made me feel like I really actually care about these relationships thriving. And
Mm.
so this thing needs to be looked at. This is a hard conversation that I don't necessarily prefer to have, but I know I need to have. And from having those conversations on the other side, not only do I feel more depth and connection with these relationships, and like we've really met each other, which I know it could go either way, but I also just feel more of a clarity and more of like a sense of like rootedness in okay, this is the woman I am, and this is what I
It's true for you.
it's just true of just like these are the types of the level of relationship that I have capacity for, that I'm available for in my life right now.
Mm.
Whereas previously I may have, just kind of let things just be. Maybe I didn't have at that time a level of this, I suppose.
I think the thing that's coming through for me, if I may just
Yeah.
very politely interject, is the word tolerate or
Yeah.
toleration.
Settle.
Settling.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've had this myself where I look in the mirror and it's like, hang on, I'm not fit.
Mm,
Like, I don't feel strong.
mm,
Why have I been tolerating this of myself
mm.
for so long when deep down there's this little whisper that's like, bro, work out, like, get strong. And I'd ignored that voice for so long. And then at some point, wake up and have that classic cliche moment of, how did my life, like, how did this become my life? Like, how did this happen?
Yeah.
Right. And it's a consequence, I think, of a series of very small, minor decisions to bite my tongue,
Mm.
overlook something, not fully commit to something, let myself down. Like, don't go to the gym. You're feeling a little tired today. And then that turns into 3 days, and that turns into a week and a month and 6 months. And so I think what I'm hearing is like, you get the life you tolerate,
Yeah.
some regard. You get the friendships you tolerate. You get the love life you tolerate. Right. And so it's like, what if we tolerated less and pursued things from a capacity to create a thriving energy? It's like, I
Yeah.
don't want to tolerate anything in my life. Like, I want things to excite me, from my bread knife to my plants in my life to the books that I'm reading. Like, I don't want to read a bad book. Like, if I'm a third of the way through a bad book, like, I don't want to just tolerate that.
Yeah.
It's like, put it down, get another book. That
Yeah.
makes sense?
It totally makes sense. And I feel like this sort of nudge that I just could not get away from. I tried to ignore it. I tried to
You
ignore
did. We had
the
conversations
yeah,
about it.
just like, this feeling is here. And like,
You tried to convince yourself to ignore it.
Yeah, it's just
Like, it's not a big deal.
like maybe, you know, just give it grace. But it was so much more than just, it's really what it represented. And it was just like this energy that I felt was really just felt like a weight, and it was impacting the way that I was, you know, showing up in these relationships. And to your point, when you're saying before, I started to feel irritable. And so fast forward a little bit, the conversations happened. They were scary. They were expansive. They were tender. There was emotion, but they also were, again, really clean and clear and brought us closer. And that sort of cascaded for me this energy of like, where else do I not feel nourished? Like that, these relationships were starting to not feel nourishing. And I don't want that in my life. Like, to your point, like, I don't want to tolerate or settle. And just getting to a point of just knowing what true nourishment feels like in my body, with quite literally with food, knowing what it doesn't feel like. And then also seeing in my relationships around that doesn't feel like it's nourishing me. And ignoring it really doesn't feel like it's nourishing me. It's like I actually feel this like tingle in my spine. That's like, ugh, like, you know, when you get disgusted and you're just like, kind of like, ugh, like that's how it was feeling like. And it was just, was this huge invitation where everything went under review. What relationships are thriving or allowing or inviting me to thrive, challenging me, or and like what parts of the relationships need to be assessed. And then not just the relationships, but then it was like, what are my new habits? Like, what are my new rituals? Again, I'm not the same woman that I was last year, and looking at, wow, some of these things are really outdated and they're actually putting more stress onto where I'm at in my life than nourishing me and opening me to feel more clear about what I want to create in this world and the level of presence that I really want to have in my life. Really, it's been less is more.
Mm.
And the way I move my body is just, everything's shifted. And so, yeah, it's just felt like on the other side of it, and I'm still in it. So I think that's something I really want to bring to everybody that's listening is, for this month of May, I'm personally like still very much in it, holding space, going to be holding people accountable, but myself included. There are still things that I have under review that I want to really look at and just be really honest about. That's been a huge invitation for me, is radical, brutal honesty towards myself.
Yeah.
Of just like, what familial dynamics, I'm just like, no,
I think that's the main part of like coaching or the work that I do with clients. I'm sure it's the same with you, is just asking those really profound, simple questions, such as, what do you want in your life? Who do you want to be friends with? What kind of food do you want to eat?
How do you want it to feel?
How do you want to feel when you wake up in the morning? Yeah. Right.
Do you feel like when you walk away, this is something I really want to touch on. When you walk away from an interaction with a friend, do you feel like, fuck, I am energized, I am filled up, I am inspired, I feel called forward? Like, do you feel that way? It's like the most nutrient dense, like, oh my God, I'm so satiated, versus like, wow, I feel like my tank is empty now and I'm actually really angry. I mean, there's so many pieces to it, but this is something I want to touch on, is the more that I was creating space and really energetically putting out there what I actually desire and participating in that, the more that those interactions, those healthy, nourishing interactions, are really showing up in my life.
What do you credit that with? Is there some kind of like universal?
Absolutely.
Like, you've heard me talk about the bouncer and the microphone.
Yeah.
Right. Like the security guard.
Well, I feel like what we put out, I mean, if you're listening to this, I'm sure you've heard an adage of this in some sort. What we put out there, we attract. And it goes two ways. Whereas, you know, if we settle for something, then we'll keep getting what we settle for.
You get what you give.
Yeah, and if we're expanding and asking and showing and participating that, hey, I'm really wanting to show up in my life. I recognize over here it's been time to like deal with this. And what I require, what I desire in my life is our relationships with depth, food with like density. It's like that, it shows up.
But it's so hard, Kendra. It's so annoying.
But the thing is that we make it hard.
Yeah, but growth is hard. It's annoying. Like, I don't know.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, like I've said, this is confronting.
Yeah, this whole life.
And that's why it's also really helpful to have people in our corner that are like,
Yeah.
do it. Like, we're here for you. And not a force and pressure, but like you know, you know what needs to be done.
I do. Yeah, she's staring at me right now. It's like, yeah, no, I get it. I've seen this face before. And it is so helpful when you have somebody, in particular, when you live with them and you love them and they're like, bro, like, come on.
Yeah.
Calling you forward. But like not calling you out, calling you forward in a really nurturing, loving way.
Just like,
It's a nice reminder of everything we've talked about.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I find that this process of growth is never ending.
Absolutely.
It's always happening. You always say new levels, new devils. But there is this point where you kind of, and the snake example is perhaps a good one, or a lobster or something that like sheds its skin, that sheds its skeleton, right? You outgrow yourself, you outgrow your life. And if you don't shed that skin like a snake, you get dull. And your eyes get cloudy and you can't really see, right? And it's like, I just get bored. And no matter how good my life is, no matter how good my friends are, no matter how much impact I have, etc., no matter how organic my broccoli and like how good the food, there's this kind of like tedium, like this kind of monotonous inner struggle where I'm feeling constrained or constricted. And I think in those moments, I've learned to kind of go inward, be like even more strategic of, okay, what's actually going on here? Like, what's this really about?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, where are you avoiding that heart whisper? Where are you out of integrity? Where are you not speaking up? Where are you unclear about what you desire? What are you not saying? What are you not doing? Stop fucking lying to yourself, man.
Honesty.
What's going on?
Yeah.
You feel that too?
I would say in my verbiage would be like, where am I honestly deficient? Like where it's
deficient,
like nutrient deficient in all areas of life. Like when was the last time I did something that excited me and that I fucking love to do? Like when was the last time I went for a hike? Well, just these things that are we make it so much harder than it needs to be. But it's like it's really good getting under review. And the first call that we'll have in this is like putting everything under an audit.
Yeah.
And like really sitting with, yeah, where do we feel that? Where do we feel that boredom? Where do we feel like this? I don't feel lit up over here. Okay, why? What needs to be addressed here? What conversations need to be had? What needs to be switched up? Like it's all can be very, very accessible. And another piece that I wanted to speak to here was, oh shoot, it left me.
Oh, I thought you were gonna start crying there. So you grabbed her chest and like was blinking very quickly. I thought you were gonna be tender, but you were just being forgetful.
Well, I am being forgetful, yes, and I suppose a little bit tender. But I feel like,
the way nourishment that you described that I think is really good. It's like you might be undernourished for joy. You might be undernourished for connection.
Sorry, I just remembered. But so this is where it's like we can get comfortable with that lack of nourishment. We can get comfortable with like, oh, this is just my quote unquote normal. And
get used to starving.
You get used to starving or just feeling like dull, that dullness.
Blah.
And for me in this recent period of my life has just been like, wow, I don't love feeling this way. And it's almost like something like nudged me of just like in that dullness, I've just kind of felt like this isn't it.
You need to make a shift.
Like something needs to make a shift. And, gently but lovingly having that call forward, that's like, it's time. It's time to really have those conversations, to stop doing whatever that one thing or many things are that that they are. And I'm not talking about perfection. We're still freaking human. I have my days.
Can confirm.
Big time. But it's also, God, there's just like this, I just feel really fiery about it. It's just like I desire to live a life where I feel connected and in alignment and have friends and people in my life that I feel really nourished by and really assessing as well. Like just all the foundations, like my food and just building those relationships with my community and the places where I have felt like the boredom or a deficiency. It's like, well, where am I not? My honest question to myself has been like, what's my part to play in that?
Like, what's an example? Can you like you talked about the friends,
Yep.
but like, how does it manifest for you? Like, what do you do about it?
I think another good,
It's common for people in this
yeah,
our line of work or on the internet to be like,
it's this,
something's missing. I don't know what to do. I feel stuck. I'm trying
yeah.
everything. Like, how do you?
I feel like one thing for me that's just, again, really much in my line of work right now is, again, I was asking myself, like, when was the last time I felt creative and stoked about, making a recipe? And I had been, this is funny because this is actually perfect. I remember I was craving lemon tarts,
Yeah.
and then I was just like, man, I just want a lemon tart. And I was feeling like I want a lemon tart. And then I found a recipe, but then I adapted it and then I ended up creating a recipe and I created this bomb ass recipe for a lemon tart. And I'm stoked when I eat my lemon tart. And I'm just like, this makes me happy. And I feel creative. I feel like accomplished. It's like
It's fun.
it's fun. It's like I'm dancing in the kitchen. Sometimes I'm frustrated in the kitchen because it's like all a bunch of things. But it's like I'm moving energy. I'm like putting it out there. And I wanted to have an experience, and instead of like waiting for somebody to do it for me, I was like, I guess I have to do it for myself.
That's it.
And then I did it.
That's
And I have this delicious outcome. And I'm very happy about it. And I think that's an example of just like, you know, when you're like, wow, we don't know what to do. I think a really easy question is like, well, what does light you up? What's something that you haven't done for yourself in a really long time? And
yeah.
like,
What do you
why?
know? What do you know you need?
Yeah.
Why are you,
It's a nutrient
it's a nutrient.
to play to, and like springtime again, like when was the last time we went for a long walk? Like whenever we go for, it's so simple. Whenever we go for walks together, we feel a lot better. We
Yeah.
really overcomplicate it. And I think too, a lot of what you've been talking about recently is like, we don't like, yes, read the books, listen to the podcast is great, but just go and actually move and do the thing. Like go and take a new workout class, try something new, go to the farmer's market, whatever that thing is that you like feel like, man, it'd be nice to just like sit in a cafe and like just do that. Like do it.
Mm. Yeah. Like aliveness is worth the risk.
Yeah. And the more that happens, it opens up my experience, just more clarity of like what else needs to shift. Like where could I actually allocate more of my time to doing these things that nurture me, inspire me, make me feel accomplished, and what are the things that don't make me feel this way that I've been doing?
So saying no to certain things
Boundaries has been big. Yeah.
lets you say yes to other things,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that requires some amount of discomfort and bravery,
Bravery for sure.
commitment and devotion.
Leaning in.
And just it's a tremendous act of self-love to make decisions that you believe will allow you to live more fully, more expressed,
Yeah.
more intentionally, more joyfully.
Yeah.
Like that's the part I often get fired up about when I'm talking to clients. You just want to like shake them. And oftentimes when I look in the mirror, I want to shake myself. And it's like, bro, sort it out. You're alive. You have agency. You can make new choices.
Yeah.
Enough with the whiny bitch attitude, enough with the brat taking control of your life, and enough of the complaining, and enough of the victim shit.
Yeah.
Like, sort it out, man.
Yeah.
What are you going to do about it? Right? Like, it's time. It's go time. That's enough. Stop it.
Yeah.
Do something. Do something about it, or just shut up, man. This is like my pep talk to myself sometimes in the mirror. And it's like, it's tough love. Because I feel like sometimes you just need to call yourself out on your own bullshit. And like, I get tired of myself. I get tired of my identity occasionally. It's like, okay, I got to stop listening to these podcasts and these audiobooks. And I'm going to listen to these fucking pep talk, go Goggins types people. And I'm going to get my stuff together.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try and make some changes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like you have that same energy at times too.
Absolutely. When it's just like really being just again, I've reiterated this. The question for me is like, if you were really honest with yourself, like what needs to happen?
Mm,
What would you say? What needs to be said? What needs to be moved?
yeah.
Because a lot of the suffering is self-perpetuated because I'm not actually taking action in something. And so there's a moment where I'm just like,
I'm not being honest with myself.
yeah, I'm not being honest with myself here. Like this is my part to play in this. And, you know, just coming back to what this month of May is, I feel like something that's really, really supportive is like getting the ball rolling. Like we get the universal nudges, will we listen, will we do it? But then when we're also in an incubating space where the energy is like everybody's going to be putting their own personal life under review, like we're all going to be working on our own personal stuff.
Yeah.
But like getting that energy of the ball rolling of like, okay, there's something about like ticking it off the list.
It's fun too. Like
And
at
like
some degree.
that sense of accomplishment of just like, okay, like after having a hard conversation and it's like, yeah, it feels wobbly, it feels crunchy, there's emotions, but then there's like,
It's exciting though.
there's that space where it's like, I feel really like my intention for this space and something that I want to continuously allow myself to feel for myself is like really proud that I've done the best I can to show up, to take responsibility and hold myself accountable, and also just feel that sense of like, yeah, I'm really proud of like what my results are. And you know,
Or even not even results based, but just like I gave it my best.
yeah, I give it my
I
best.
tried today.
Well, I feel like that's and those are in itself, I mean, results might not be the best word, but I mentioned that because one of my earliest coaches and mentors, her name is Orianne Woodschatz, back in Edmonton. There was a part of this workshop that we were in where it was like based on results. And it goes both ways. And I think this is a really great thing to bring into this conversation, which is, you know, based on results in my life, based on the people I'm with, the interactions, where I live, my environment, my food, my health, all of it. How do I like my results? Based on results, I'm the common denominator. I'm the one that is creating my results. And then can look like, wow, I don't love, like there may be some areas where I'm like, yeah, that's great. That feels good. This I don't love. And based on results, like what do we do? And then it can go the other way. We're like, well, based on the results of my life, the people, the conversations I'm having,
I love this.
I must be doing something right. Like, and I must, and like that's beautiful to feel that. It's beautiful to feel like, wow, I reflect on Kendra who had the results that she did not love and what was required to have results that she's really starting to love and really appreciate. And again, new levels, new devils. Next year will probably be totally different. A whole new time to put everything.
But for now,
for right now, in this part, I'm like, yeah, there were some areas where I was like, based on results, like I need to do some shit. I need to change some stuff. I need to show up differently. I need to speak up for what feels misaligned. I know that when I go for a walk, even if it's 20 minutes every day, I feel so much better.
you were a different person.
Yeah. And it's like those subtle things. Just like when my body needs rest and I don't fight it, which I still do sometimes, like I know that it's for me. And just all the foundations. Again, it's looking at what needs to be cleared, like actually like clearing out and cleaning space.
Just a full holistic view of life.
Yeah.
Individually, relationally, familially.
Yeah.
Is that a word? Familially?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, let's just make it up. Fuck it.
Familially.
Environmentally.
And I just want to, maybe we can end on this one thing, like with your cold plunging, there are nudges that we get that don't necessarily we prefer, but we know at the end of it, like, this is really good for me. Like when I got the hit to start eating raw liver, I don't necessarily love the taste of it, but I know that I feel that it is really doing something for me that is a positive. And I mean, those I hear, and maybe you can speak to this too, like cold plunging as an example. It's like, do you love the sensation of being in the cold water when it's happening? Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, it's the classic hero's journey stuff from Joseph Campbell, whereby you hear the call. So you're living your life, doing your thing, metaphorically, and you hear the call, which I described as a heart whisper, which is like, psst, hey, bro, sort your shit out.
Yeah.
And typically you ignore the call for a minute, for an hour, for a year or a decade. You just postpone it because you don't want to answer the call because it's confronting and it requires effort and you have to do some stuff.
Yeah.
That's often filled with uncertainty and effort. So I was like, nah, I don't want to. I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to do that. And so you're kind of marinating in the implications of the call and what it means. And then at some point, it's like a heavy sigh. Okay, I'm answering the call, meaning I'll join the gym, I'll write the book, I'll quit the job, I'll get the divorce, I'll ask that person to marry me, whatever. You answer the call, and then you go off and you have your lessons and you live your life and you have that adventure, and then you bring that wisdom back to the village. You bring that back to the people, and you've learned and you've grown and you've lived. You fucking lived. And that to me is like the cyclical nature of growth and change and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Which is, hey man, like I've said to people that like in workshops, I didn't want to be a writer, personal development guy. Like writing is so difficult. It's such a challenging thing. And I would have far preferred if I would have been called to plant flowers in a garden. Like if that was my calling, like that sounds so great. And I'm sure it's got its own challenges and et cetera, et cetera. But like, I don't want that. I didn't choose that. Like my Dharma chose me, right? And my job, my obligation, responsibility, privilege is merely to answer the call where it leads. And I think in a lot of us, there's a tremendous amount of resistance. There's a tremendous amount of fear. There's a tremendous amount of self manipulation to keep us comfortable in the suffering that we know and adore in some regard because it's comfortable. And, you know, joining a container, hiring a coach, going to therapy, getting new friends, asking for honest feedback. These are things that shake the container up, that disrupt that pattern and set you off on a new course to answer the call to yourself, which is really what integrity is all about. Which is, hey, are you doing the stuff that you say you wanted to do? Like, are your values and your actions aligned? Are you a person of honesty and integrity? Like when you go to bed at night, to your point, can you look in the mirror and be like, you know what? Damn right.
Yeah.
I did good today. Like I gave it my best shot. And so that's what we're going to be doing for a month straight, 30 days. You'll have us. You have two very different and unique voices to guide you. 30 days of commitment, daily support.
Yeah.
Live Zoom calls. Like, let's fucking go for a month. And we're going to be in it too, doing our own thing and living our own life. So that's what's happening. There's a link in the show notes. Message us at any time to learn more and more to say.
Yeah. Well, just the fun thing about the pricing model.
Oh, yeah, the pricing.
Which I feel like is unique and
integrated bribery. I love it.
It is integrated bribery. It's really an investment in your accountability. So what we're going to be doing is
it's $500.
It's $500 USD, and again, we're all going to be on our unique journey. But if by the end of the month you can honestly sit in your review of like, wow, I've really gained the momentum. I've done the subtle and not so subtle pieces in my own life. Like maybe there's a big thing that you've been putting off. Like some of you might have big shit. Some of you might just have like small tweaks that amount to really big shit. You really honestly sit with that and you've checked in with us because we're going to be checking in with all of you. We're going to have daily prompts and you really show up for yourself. Like you can't fucking half-ass this. You really show up for yourself. We're going to send you back $200.
$200.
So you get $200 back at the end of the month. Not if, but when.
When you do your shit.
When you do your shit.
When you change your life.
And like, you got to be honest with yourself on this too. And
I think it's cool, man. I would sign up for a program. Like this is.
It would really put it would really make you want to
all the stuff that we create. I want to, when I look at the website, I want to say to myself, like, I would do that. That's dope. Because for me, it's very easy to buy something and then, pitter putter and just write it off and like, well, there goes that. But if I knew that I was going to get $200 back to do the things that I said I wanted to do and like to make the changes that I committed to,
like money.
I would do that.
Yeah.
And I get to hang out with us. Like, we're cool.
You get your money and you feel accomplished and you feel you've got the ball rolling and momentum.
30 days of momentum and new habits.
You just keep going. And I just want to end on this part, which you were talking about, which really resonated with me with the hero's journey, which really ultimately all of this is because we all have a unique thing that we're here to do and to tend to. We all have a responsibility of some sort to be a steward in our community, to be a teacher, to be a creator. And we really, it's like, get out of our own fucking way. It's time to get out of our way.
Yeah.
And we need to start really showing up for that bigger call. And
the world needs that.
Like, really, quite literally, the world absolutely needs people to be in their integrity, because that is the energy that our world needs, is honesty and integrity.
Yeah.
So I'll leave it there because I could go on another rant.
Yeah.
But
okay, well.
Join us. This is going to be fun. We start May 1st.
Yeah.
And then after that, all calls will be on Monday.
Yep.
Excited to light some shit up.
Well done, Kendra Adachi. Love you.
Love you too.